Today's date is 12/5/23, and it's called a negative x. Negative x. So what do you do when there's a negative x? We haven't. We gotta do math. We gotta break up the negative x. All right, and we're gonna look at this problem. 5 minus x equals 10. And for most students, it looks really easy. Like 5 minus x equals 10. Oh, that's easy, Miss Emily. The answer is? 5. Well, we're going to solve for x. When I heard 5 and 15, most...
Guess what? You write your x's like that.
Seriously, right? What happened? All right. Well, using your answers of 5, well, let me plug it in. So when you tell me an answer, you get an answer, you can plug it back in here and go 5 minus 5. Is 5 minus 5 going to give me 10? No. Then I heard a different answer. 5 minus 15.
What?
Is 5 minus 15?
Yeah. No. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
What? Ow, it's 10.
That's negative. That's negative 10.
So what is this answer? Negative 10.
That's what I said.
He
That's what I said.
changed
I said that.
opposite. So a lot of you gave me these answers of 5 and 15, and I see and understand where you're coming from, your logic. They make sense, but they're not actually what I'm looking for, right? Let me see if I could bring up that screen again. Give me 1 second, because I know that back screen is very useful. All right, we should be good. Okay, stop. Okay, we're going to start off traditional drawing your bars. We need to move the 5. How do I make this 5 disappear?
Just like 5.
Well, if I add 5, okay, if I add 5, Jaden's, 5 plus 5, is that going to give me 0?
No.
No, it's going to give me 10. But what do I want to happen? I want this to be 0, right? So can I add 5? I have to minus it. This has nothing to do with the 5. This is behind it, so you don't look at it. Hence, I was covering up, Brandon, with my hand. So we're going to go minus 5 on this side and minus 5 on this side. What's 5 minus 5? 0. That's what I want. 5 minus 5 is 0. That's what I want. I don't want the 10. On this side, what do I get?
0. I mean 5.
Okay. Equals.
I mean negative.
Negative x. Where did I get that negative from? What do kids ignore? That subtraction sign, right?
So now if it's like that, it's a negative.
I know, right? That's what 100% makes math sometimes hard. It's like one day the teacher gets mad at me for calling this a negative when it's a subtraction. And then the next day, the math teacher says, no, you know what, guys? Just kidding. This is actually a negative. Ha, ha, ha. Joke's on me. So, yeah, this is 100% why kids sometimes think math is kind of confusing, because it's like, you just told me this is a minus, and now you're telling me it's a negative. Yes. Yes.
So, even though it says negative 5, it doesn't mean the 5. Negative x doesn't mean it's negative 5.
Well, right now, the x is negative. So that means I still got to get rid, Justin, of this negative. I don't like it. I got to get rid of it. I'll just ignore it. No. The only thing I can ignore is a plus sign. I can't ignore this minus sign. What is the magical number that's right there that you can't see, but it's right there? It's a 1. Very good. So there's an invisible 1 right here.
Negative 1.
So it's a negative 1.
Why is it visible?
Because when you're supposed to know that it's a 1 without writing it. It's super cool. That's why it's number 1. So how do I break this up? How do I break up negative 1x?
By dividing.
By dividing. Remember when it used to be like this? How do I break this up? Divide by 2, right? So how do I break this up? Not 1. Not x.
Negative 1.
What's 5 divided by negative 1?
Wait, what?
Negative 5.
Because if the signs are different, it's a negative.
What?
They're the same.
Wait, what?
For multiplication and division, yeah.
Why?
Okay. We're going to do one that's very similar. Okay? There's a lot of, it looks like a simple problem, but there's a lot of things going on. Are they hard things going on? No. There's just a lot. What if I give you 6 minus x equals 20? Very similar to the one we just got. Right? So we're writing this down. Drawing your bars. What's the first thing we move when we want to get x by itself? What's the first thing I should move?
Minus x. Minus 6.
Get rid of the 6 by minusing 6. I agree with that. Because 6 minus 6 is 0. So Dylan, we're writing this down.
Who didn't?
What's 20 minus 6? We have 14. Equals. This is Miss O'Malley. Good morning. All right, I'll send them up. Thanks. Okay, but kids sometimes forget to write that. So make sure that you bring it down. If it's a plus sign, which is what you had last week, you just ignore it. You just ignore it. But today, there's no plus sign. Okay, what's the invisible number? 1. So it's a negative 1.
Is it always 1?
Yes, it's always 1. Divide by a negative. Divide by a negative. Why do I divide by negative? Because I just want x. I don't want negative x. I just want plain, simple x. And then what's 14 divided by negative 1?
Negative 14.
Yes, x is equal to negative 14. If I were to plug this back into this, it would equal 20. You would do a keep change opposite. All right? You start this one before I do. It's literally the same thing we just did. Write it down. Doing odds for homework if I forget to tell you at the end. Odds for homework. What'd you get?
I got x equals negative
16 minus 4. What's 16 minus 4?
12.
Good. Equals what's left on this side? Negative x. So then you divide by negative 1, divide by negative 1. X equals negative 12. You'll get a lot of these in high school. A lot of negative X's in high school. You don't get a lot in 7th grade. Hence, I didn't teach it to you right away. The main reason I'm teaching it to you today, I usually don't teach it in, okay, that's it's your own personal issues, and I mean, that's cool. I'm not here to judge. It's for your parents to do.
What?
All right. The reason I taught you this is because we're going to do a worksheet that has problems that look like this. And you just realize, hopefully, that they're not very difficult. At the end, you just divide by -1, and that's it. Now, but this is a different type of worksheet. This is actually a group worksheet. So,
I get to do it for myself.
yeah, there you go.
Do I really have to do that?
Listen. Okay, we're listening, Sophia. This is 4 worksheets that when you put them together make one picture. Okay? So each person in your team, for example, if these 4 are a team, they would each get a worksheet. They would each do their own problems on the worksheet. They would get help from each other, like, hey, I'm stuck on this one, how do you do it? Okay, cool. And then you color it, and then you cut them out and glue them together and make one giant picture. Okay? All of the possible answers are here. So if you're doing the math and you get an answer of like 20, but 20 is not here, you know you did something wrong, right? You can ask me or you can ask your teammates. Okay? Some of these questions are super easy. Some of these questions, literally, I'm not kidding, are
2 minus 3.
easier. X plus 1 equals 2.
1.
Yeah. So some of them are this easy. Now some of them are harder. You can wait a little later and I'll help you on the harder ones. But some are super, super easy as this. Okay? A lot of them are as easy as this. Some of my students second period looked at these and oh, those are so hard. And it's like, and I pointed to this one and I'm like, what? Why is this hard? It's not. You will get some of these. You have the negative. You might get like 2 problems like this. So don't assume they're all like this. Maybe only 2. Okay? You're going to show your work here in the empty space.
It should be fast.
It should be fast.
What speed was it?
How long?
You can color as you go. So if my answer is 5, and I look over here, oh, 5 is blue. Let me go ahead and color that blue, right? Oh, my answer is 1. Oh, 1 is brown. Let me start coloring it brown. I have color pencils in the back of the room. So the first thing we need to do.
Why?
Get the paper?
This is a group assignment. You will be graded on what the group gets done. So you might get everything done, and then the person you chose to be in your team only got half of it done. Well, you chose that person to be on your team, so your grade will be lowered. So pick wisely of who will be on your team. Could you help them? Yes. Could you do it for them? No. But you can help them. Motivate them. I don't know. Motivate them. What do I know? Yes, Pella. All right. Shouldn't be scared to be in